This conference will now be recorded.
So in the last session, we have discussed about the object creation. We have discussed how to create the objects in Salesforce. And upon creating the object, we have discussed two scenarios, like how to create the object with tab, how to create the object without tab. But already we have discussed both the scenarios. So whenever we are creating a custom object inside your organization, if you're selecting the last checkbox, like launch a new custom tab wizard after creating a custom object, that is a checkbox is available, the last checkbox. If you're selecting that last checkbox, then only Salesforce will be creating the object with the tab. If the checkbox is not selected, tab will not be created. Only the table and the business logic class will be getting prepared, but it won't provide any tab for your object. Both the scenarios we have discussed in the last session. Now, suppose for example, come to a scenario. Assume that I have created an object with the name some student. In order to store some student details, I'm creating an object with the name student. But upon creating this object, I did not select the checkbox. That is launch a new custom tab wizard. Launch a new custom tab wizard after creating the custom object. Launch a new custom tab wizard after creating the custom object. That means if this checkbox is not selected, then tab will not be created. Object will be created. That means table will be created. Business logic class will be getting prepared by Salesforce, but it won't provide any tab. If the tab is not available, then how can we manage the records inside this table? Inside my student table, how can we manage the record? Through programming, we have to manage by using Apex programming language, or by using some tools given by Salesforce, like as data loader tool, or by using import wizard feature, or by using some third-party tools, or by using some integration processes. We have to manage the records inside this object. That means if the user interfaces are not available, if the tab is not available, then we have to manage the record through programming by writing some code. By using Apex programming, we can manage that records. We can insert the records, update the record, delete the record through Apex programming, or else we can use the tool given by Salesforce, that is the data loader, or we can use some third-party tools also, like Informatica Cloud, and then we can use that, the cast iron, the various tools are available. Through those tools also we can manage the records, or else through integration mechanism we can manage the records. Now, in this case, for example, let's come to a scenario. So now 6 months back, my client asked me to create an object with the name some student. But he don't want the tab. He told me that no need to create the tab, just to create the table for me, that is sufficient. I don't want the tab because I have a tool. With that tool, I will manage the record. So based on the client requirement at that time, I have created the object, okay, without the tab. That means upon creating this student object, I did not select the checkbox, launch a new custom tab wizard after creating a custom object. So table has been created, and then my client is managing the record through some programming language by using some integration, by using some tools. He is creating the records, updating the record, deleting the records inside the table. It is working very fine. The tool is working very fine. So now, as of now, since 6 months, he is using the third-party tool to manage the records inside this object. Now, so now since almost 1 week, whenever they're managing the record through the tool is giving some issue. Tool is not processing the request properly. Tool is not inserting the records inside this table properly. Some records are failing. Some operations are aborting in the middle also. So they're facing some problems with the tool. Whatever the tool they are using to manage the records inside this table, they're facing some problem with the tool. So my client got decided that I don't want to continue with the tool. I would like to create the tab for my object. I need a tab for my object. Then how can we create the tab? That means the client got realized that, so now tool is giving some issue right now, so that I don't want to continue with the tool right now. I want the tab for my object, so that with the help of that tab, I would like to manage the records. From now onwards, I would like to manage the records with the help of this tab itself. So that here, I want a tab for my object in this case. So now tell me here in this case, how can we create the tab? Now the client asked me to create a tab for this object. So then how can we create the tab? So now let's see in this case here. Now let's go with that concept of tabs. Now, so what do you mean by tab? Tab provides a collection of graphical user interfaces, because once object has been created, Salesforce will create some table in the backend. So once the table is created, then to manage the records inside the table, to insert the records, to update the records, to delete the records, to view the records inside the table, whatever the user interfaces are required, all the user interfaces will be given by this tab for you. All the user interfaces will be given by the tab. So that tab provides a collection of graphical user interfaces through which we can able to manage the records inside this object. Now, so in this case, whenever we are going to be using these tabs, whenever we are creating the tabs, Salesforce has given 4 types of tabs. Upon creating the tabs, we have 4 types of tabs are available in Salesforce. What are those 4 types of tabs? Now let me explain. We have 4 types of tabs available in Salesforce. First one is custom object tabs. Second one is web tabs. Third one is Visualforce page tabs. Fourth one is Lightning page tabs. These are the 4 types of tabs are available in Salesforce. Whenever you are creating a new tab for your object, then we have to choose which type of tab you would like to create. You want to create a custom object tab, or a web tab, or Visualforce page tab, or the Lightning page tab. These are the 4 types of tabs are available in Salesforce. Then what exactly each and every tab type? What is this custom object tab? What is this web tab? What is this Visualforce page tab? What is this Lightning page tab? Okay, I would like to know that. Then we'll see how to create the tab for our object. We'll see practically in this case. Now, so when coming to the tabs here, these are the 4 types of tabs are available. Now, custom object tabs. So what is this custom object tabs? Now let me explain. Now, just now we have explained a scenario. Sometime before, I have created an object. I have created one object, okay, with the name some student, but it doesn't have any tab, because upon creating that object, I did not selected the checkbox launch a new custom tab wizard after creating the custom object. That means upon creating that object, I did not selected the last checkbox. So table has been created, but the tab did not created. Okay. Tab didn't created. There is no tab here. Same situation in the last session we have discussed practically. We have created an object. We have created an object with the name branch. Okay, we have created one object with the name branch. So this is the object which we have created. Okay, branch object we have created. For this branch object, we don't have any tab. We don't have any tab for this object, only the table is available. Okay, only the table is available, but we don't have any tab for this object. Then how to manage the records inside this object? How can we insert the records? How to update the records? How to delete the records? How to view the records inside my branch object here? Because in the second scenario in the last session, I told you how to create the object without selecting the tab option. Now here in this case, upon creating the customer object, okay, so it is creating the customers tab, but upon creating the branch object, the tab is not created. But now I want the tab. How to create the tab? So what are the custom objects that we have created in the past? Okay, what are the custom objects we have created in the past? For those objects, if there is no tab available, that means if there is no tab, then we can create the tab with the help of an option called as custom object tabs. Custom object tabs is an option which is used to create the tabs for your custom objects. Okay, for your custom objects. What type of custom object which doesn't have any tab? Why? Because a object can have only one tab, not multiple. We can't create two tabs for a single object here. Always, a object can have only one tab, not multiple. That is a limitation given by Salesforce. That means between object to tab, we have one-to-one association. One object, one tab. That's it. We can't create multiple tabs for the same object. So that here, what are the objects that were created in the past which are not having any tab, then we can create the tab for those objects by using an option called as custom object tabs. Okay, now here, let me get the notepad. This feature is used to create a tab for the custom object which doesn't have the tab. Now I'm giving the note point here. An object can have only one tab. Okay, an object can have only one tab. That means object to tab we have one-to-one association, one parent, one child, one object, one tab. That's it. We can't create two tabs for the same object here.
Sorry, a small question.
Yeah.
So if I have an object which has a custom object tab, so does that mean I cannot have Visualforce page tab?
No, we can create that. Okay, we can create. But here, upon creating the custom object tab, we can have only one, not multiple.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Now, so now, what are the custom objects that you have created in the past which it doesn't have any tab? Then for those objects, we can create the tab by using custom object tabs option. Now, the next one. Second one, web tabs. What do you mean by this web tab? Now let me explain. For example, assume that I have a tab bar. I have a tab bar. So this is my tab bar that we have. So on this tab bar, I'm having so many tabs are available. Like I have this home tab, and I have the accounts tab. I have this contacts tab. I have the opportunities tab. I have the cases tab over here. Like that, here we are having so many tabs are available over here. I have so many tabs are available on my tab bar. I have so many tabs are available on my tab bar. Now, I'm having the tabs like this. I have the home tab, accounts, contacts, opportunities, cases, like that. So many tabs are available. Now today, my client asked me to create one more tab over here. Okay. So because here these are the various tabs which has been given by Salesforce. When you click on this home tab, it is providing that home page. When you click on accounts tab, it is providing that home page for that account object. For the contacts tab, it is providing a separate home page here. Like for example, let me show you practically. So we are having so many tabs are available. When you click on this home tab, it is going to be creating the home page for the Salesforce instance. When you click on this accounts tab, account object home page will be getting prepared. This is the home page of your account object. When you click on cases tab, it is providing the case object's home page over here. Respective landing tab, your landing page is available, or the default page is available, that is called as home page. Now, like the similar way, my client asked me to have one more tab on this tab bar. My client asked me to add one more tab on my tab bar. That is called as Gmail. Gmail. He asked me to add a tab called as Gmail. So now when he click on this Gmail tab, okay, as soon as when he click on this Gmail tab, what it has to do, it has to open the Gmail application. Okay, it has to open the Gmail application. You will be having the Gmail application is available here. Okay, here's the Gmail application. Gmail is a website. It's a web application here. Here's the Gmail application. So how can we access this Gmail application? By using the URL. What is the URL? https www.somegmail.com. So this is the URL that we have. So now here what needs to be done? So now as soon as once you click on this particular the Gmail tab, it has to redirect the user to the Gmail application. That means what Gmail is what? A website. A web application which is having some website name, which is having some address bar, which is having some URL. So upon click on this tab, if you want to redirect the user to a specific web application based on the URL or based on the path of the application, then we can go with the web tabs. Web tab means what? Upon click on this tab, please open a website. Please open a website. So please redirect the user to a specific website here based on the website name or the website URL or the path of the application, whatever we have. So in this case, web tabs are used to redirect the user to a specific website, okay, based on the URL. Upon click on the tab, we can redirect the user also. That facility is available. So for that reason, they have given an option called as web tabs. Okay, now.
Yeah, వామిటింగ్ వస్తుందా? వామిటింగ్ వస్తుందా?
This conference will now be recorded.
Now, so now this feature is used to redirect the user to a specific website, based on the website name or URL or path of the application. Upon click on the tab. Upon click on the tab, if you want to redirect the user to a specific website, then we can go with that web tabs over here. Okay, now. So now web tabs are used to redirect the user to a specific website over here based on that URL, based on the website name, based on the path of the application. We would like to redirect the user here. For that one, we can go with that web tabs. Next, the third one, Visualforce page tabs. So what do you mean by these Visualforce page tabs? Visualforce page tabs are used to redirect the user to a specific Visualforce page. That means upon click on the tab, I want to redirect the user to a specific Visualforce page. So it depends upon the application requirement, we can able to create the user interface by using the Visualforce programming, and I would like to redirect the user to the specific Visualforce page upon click on this tab. So at that time, we can go with that Visualforce page tabs. By using this Visualforce page tabs, we can create a tab on your tab bar. Upon click on this tab, we can able to redirect the user to a Visualforce page. By using the Visual First programming, we can design your own page and we can redirect the user to that Visual First page upon click on this tab by using this Visual First Page tabs option. Like for example, let me show you one small scenario. For example, my client asked me to add a tab over here. My client asked me to add a tab on my tab bar. He asked me to add a tab on the tab bar like as some search. He asked me to add a tab on the tab bar with the name some search. So upon click on this search tab, it has to open a user interface. Okay, it has to open a user interface over here. He asked me to open a user interface. We have to open a user interface here. This is the user interface. Okay, they would like to, they want us to open here. That means upon click on this search tab, it has to open this page. In this page, what they're expecting is they want the search functionality. Okay, they want us to implement the search functionality inside this page. Like enter the search text. He wants us to specify one text box to place a text box in order to search for that content. So now we are placing one text box over here. And then along with that, they want us to place one button control. Like search records. They want us to place a button control over here with the name search records. They want us to specify the button control called as search record. So based on some specific characters, what are the characters you have entered inside this text box, based on that they want us to search for some records, and those search results they want us to place inside the tabular format. They want to display the matching records inside this tabular format. That means what are the characters that have entered, based on that characters I'm searching for some records over here. What are the matching records has been collected, those matching records I would like to represent on my Visual First page in the tabular format. So I would like to have a table. In this tabular format, I would like to represent the records here. I would like to represent the records in the tabular format. I would like to represent the search results inside the tabular format here. So this is a feature which they are expecting. Okay, this is a feature which the customer is expecting. My client is asking me to implement this functionality, and along with that, he asked us to place one more section over here. He asked us to place one more section inside this. Inside this section, he asked us to place that enhanced list to be control. He asked me to place the enhanced list to be control. He asked me to place the enhanced list to be control. Generally, enhanced list to be control will be visible where on the top of the page. Okay, on the top of the page. Now, when you go to that any page, standard page, on the top of the page you will be having enhanced list to be control. When you click on this contacts, so here on the top of the page you will be having this enhanced list to be control. When you go to the second tab, you will be having that enhanced list to be control on top of the page. But my customer is expecting this enhanced list to be control should be visible at the bottom place over here. So according to the customer requirement, what are the search functionality they need, we can design the search functionality. At the bottom, we can able to place the enhanced list to be control. And upon click on this button control, okay, upon click on this button control, because upon click on this search tab, I would like to redirect the user to this page over here. So we are designing our own Visual Force page over here based on the client requirement with the search functionality and with the enhanced list control. And then upon click on this search tab, we can redirect the user to this particular Visualforce page. That means what? Whenever we are redirecting the user to a specific Visualforce page, upon click on the tab, then we can able to use the help of a tab type called as Visualforce page tabs. So Visualforce page tabs is a feature which is used to redirect the user to a specific Visualforce page upon click on the tab. Now, so now here in this case here, now, so in this case, whenever if you want to redirect the user to a specific Visualforce page, upon click on the tab, then it is going to be using the help of Visualforce page tabs. Now make a note over here. This feature is used to redirect the user to a specific Visualforce page. Visualforce page upon click on the tab. Upon click on the tab, we can redirect the user to a specific Visualforce page over there. For that reason, we are using the help of Visualforce page tabs. Next, like the similar way, we can able to create a tab, and then upon click on that tab, we can redirect the user to a lightning page also. For that reason, we are creating a tab of type lightning page tabs. Okay, lightning page tabs. Now, so I'm indicating this. This feature is used to redirect the user to a specific lightning page tab. Lightning page upon click on this tab. So depends upon your requirement. When you click on this custom object tabs here, this option is used to create a tab which will redirect the user to a custom inside this. Web tabs are used to redirect the user to a web page. That means a web application or the website upon click on the tab. Visualforce page tabs are used to redirect the user to a Visualforce page upon click on the tab. Lightning page tabs are used to redirect the user to a lightning page upon click on this tab. These are the 4 types of tabs are available in Salesforce. So now what is my requirement over here? Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, like the custom object tabs are there, right? Generally for creating tabs and the custom object tabs is the same, or the different processes?
Which one?
Like when we are, if we want to add some tab to the custom application, is that this one and that one are the same thing?
Both are same, but there tab is not created because we did not select the checkbox launch a new custom tab wizard. So we are creating this tab manually over here. That's it, the difference, nothing else. Same tab will be created.
Okay.
Now, so now here in this case, how can we create the custom object tab right now? Let's see practically in this case. So whenever if you want to see the tabs, if you want to create the custom object tabs, then we have to use a navigation. We have to use a navigation. Go to the setup menu. Go to the build menu in the left panel. Click on create. Click on tabs. Previously, we have used applications. We have used objects. Now we are using tabs. So we can able to use this tabs option in order to create the tabs for your custom object here. Okay, now. So now let's see how can we create the tab for our custom object. Now let's see practically. So let's take a small requirement, a use case. So in the previous session, we have discussed about a use case to create an object with the name branch. We have used a use case in order to create an object with the name branch. But upon creating that object, I did not selected any tab. Did not selected any tab. I did not selected the tab option. So only table has been created and it has provided the table for me along with the business logic class, but there is no user interface, there is no tab. Then how to create the tab for that object? Now let's see practically in this case. Now let's see how can we do that. Now create a tab for the custom object branch by selecting the required tab style. So already we have created a tab, okay, with the name. Already we have created an object with the name branch. For that object, I would like to create the tab right now here. Then how to do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, let's see how can we create the tab for my object branch. Let me go with the practical part. So there is no customer, there is no branch tab on my tab bar. Let's go to your talent acquisition application also. We are having the tab with the name customers, but we don't have the tab with the name branches. I want to create the tab for my custom object right now. Then how can we do that? Now let's see. Click on setup menu. Go to the build menu in the left panel. Click on create. Select the option as tabs. Previously, we have used apps to create the applications and we have used objects to create the objects. Now we are creating the tabs. So select that option, tabs. Click on this tabs link. When you click on this tabs link, it is asking you to select what type of tab you want me to create. So there are 4 types of tabs are available in Salesforce. You know, because we are having the 4 types of tabs: custom object tabs, web tabs, Visualforce page tabs, Lightning page tab. These are the 4 types of tabs are available in Salesforce. Then what we are creating right now, we are creating a tab. For what? For my custom object branch. So if you want to create the tab for your custom object, then we have to use option called as custom object tabs option. Go to this custom object tabs section, and then to create a new tab for the custom object, then click on this new button. Click on this new button to create a new tab for your custom object here. Now, click on this new button. Now it will ask you to select the object name for which object you want me to create the tab over here. So it is indicating the object names here inside this pick list. So it is populating this object name. So it is showing that only one object name like as branch. You can raise the question, sir, I have created 2 objects in the previous session. One is customer, second one is branch. Then why it is showing branch, why it is not showing customer? Because that already told you an object can have only one tab, not multiple. Of course, we have created 2 objects in the previous session. First object I have created as customer. For that one already tab is there. Second object branch, that is there is no tab. That's what it is showing this one. That's what I told you here. Once an object has been getting created, if it is having a tab, then we can't create one more tab again.
So when we want to directly create a tab, that is not possible with this option, right?
Yes, right.
So how that
without
one...
the object we can't create the tab. Without the object we can't create the tab. It requires object mandatorily.
Okay. First object, when we create the object, the tab is automatically created. If we don't create it, this is the way to do it.
Right, correct. Okay, now this is the way we have to create this. So now select the object name for which you would like to create the tab and select the tab style. Okay, select the tab style. So what style that you want, you can select the tab style by using this lookup icon. Expand this lookup icon, select the tab style whatever you want. I'm creating the tab with the name branch, nothing but this for my object branch, so that you can select any one of this option. Whatever the option that you want, we can able to specify that. For example, here I'm going to be selecting an option over here, like as a bank, because it's a bank branch, for example. I'm selecting this option. Now click on next button. Remaining story is same, no change at all. Make the tab to be get visible to all the profile users by making it as a default on, and then click on next button. Make the tab to be visible for all the applications by selecting the checkbox include tab. So it is visible in all the applications also. Now click on save button. Okay, once you click on save button, so now your tab will be getting prepared for that object. Tab will be adding onto your tab bar over here. Okay, tab has been created successfully with the name branches. Tab is visible over here. From there onwards, you can create the records inside your branch object. Inside the branch table, we can create the records. Click on the branches tab. Click on new button. Specify the branch details like as the branch name. From that, we can start managing the records. You can create, you can edit, we can delete, we can view, we can perform all the operations. I'm indicating the branch name like as Madhapur branch. I'm saving this one. Click on save button. So now business logic class is already prepared by Salesforce, so it is saving this information. I want to create one more branch over here. Click on this new button to create a new branch. I'm indicating like some Secunderabad branch. Okay, Secunderabad branch. Click on save and new. I want to create one more. I would like to create the Begumpet branch. Click on save and new. I want to create that Gachibowli branch. Gachibowli branch. So like that, here we are creating multiple records inside this. From there onwards, you can create the records, we can manage the records, we can update, we can delete, we can view, we can perform all the operations. This is the way we have to follow to create the tab for your object. Upon creating the object, if you did not select the last checkbox, then this is a feature, this is the navigation we have to follow to create the tab for your object. Okay. This is the concept of tabs inside your Salesforce instance. This is how we can able to create the tabs for your custom objects. Okay. Now, next one. Next one here. Let me give some assignments over here. Assignments. The first one. Create an object with the name prospect without the tab. I don't want the tab, only the object I want, nothing but table I want. I don't want tab. Next one. Create a custom object. Create a custom object with the name I would like to give the name as others with a tab. I want the tab also. Third one. Create a custom object with the name. Create a custom object with the name patient without the tab. And then create a tab for the custom object prospect. Create a tab for the custom object prospect. Create a tab for the custom object patient. These are the 5 requirements. How to create the object, how to create the tabs. You will feel comfortable with these assignments. Okay. Next one. Next concept is fields. As of now, we have discussed about how to create the object how to create the tabs inside your Salesforce instance. That already told you, whenever I'm creating an object in Salesforce, Salesforce is providing a table for me, and in that table it is providing 5 standard fields by default. In this object, in this table, it is providing 5 columns by default. Here, what are those columns here? It will be providing 5 columns: ID column, name column, owner column, created by, last modified by. These are the 5 columns will be giving by Salesforce. Now tell me, really these 5 columns are sufficient to store the customer details? No. Because upon storing my customer details, I want to store the customer code, that includes customer ID, customer name, his age, his gender, his qualification, and his address, his contact number, his email ID, his fax number, his billing address, and then his designation, his company name. All this information I want to collect. But here, do we have any such columns to store all this information? No. If you want to store the data inside the table, we need some columns, right? Yes. But we don't have any column. These are the 5 columns has been given by Salesforce by default. But I want to store some more details of my customer, then what we can do? I want some more columns also. So how can we create those columns? Now, let's see practically with the help of a feature called as field. What do you mean by field? Field is nothing but a column inside the table. Simple concept. Just the terminology different. Generally, we know that in the real world, we are having some tables. Table means which is having some rows and columns. So the table is called as object in Salesforce. In Salesforce, table is called as object. Table contains what? Table contains some columns. That column called as field. That's it. So fields in the sense columns inside the table. So whenever if you want to store your application specific data or business specific data or your personal data also, whatever you want, if you want to store the data, then we need some columns. Now, in this case here. So in this case here. Now, so in this case, in order to store your application specific data or business specific data or your personal data also inside the table, upon storing the data, okay, we need some columns inside the table. So that here we need to have the fields. We need to have the fields. Now, so now here in this case, when coming to the field represents a column inside the table, which is used to store the application specific data or business specific data or organization specific data. So now when coming to the fields, we have 2 types of fields are available in Salesforce. The same story again, okay, you know that concept. Standard, custom, you know that. Okay, now field represents a column inside the table which is used to store the application specific data. Application or business or organization specific data. In order to store the application specific data or business specific data or organization specific data, we are going to be adding some columns inside the tables. Those columns are called as fields. Now, Salesforce provides 2 types of fields here. We have 2 types of fields in Salesforce. What are those? Standard fields. Second one, custom fields. We have 2 types of fields are available in Salesforce: standard fields and custom fields. What do you mean by standard field? What do you mean by custom field? You know that. You know this concept already. Standard fields in the sense what? Ready-made fields. Okay, ready-made fields provided by Salesforce by default. Standard fields are nothing but the ready-made fields which has been given by Salesforce by default inside the object. Upon creating the object, by default, Salesforce is providing few ready-made fields which are called as standard fields. Like for example, ID field, name field, owner field, created by, and the last modified by. Last modified by. These are the 5 fields has been given by Salesforce by default here. Okay, these are the 5 fields which has been given by Salesforce, so that these are called as standard. Now tell me what we can do on these fields. Can we remove these fields here? No. Whatever the fields has been given by Salesforce, whatever the columns has been given by Salesforce by default, we can't remove those columns. We can't remove those columns. But we can customize. Customize means what? If you don't want that column, we can make it hide. We can change the label of that column. That facility is there. We can change the label. So, but we can't remove that field from your object. We can't remove that field from the object. Now, I'm indicating this. We can customize the field. We can customize the fields. That means what we can do, we can change the label. We can change the label. So because here this is a common question in every interview. Can we remove this custom standard field or not? No. Can we customize? Yes. Then they will raise the question what we can customize. Can I change the data type? Like suppose it is accepting name column is accepting some characters, but I want to change it to numbers. Can we do that? No. Just we can change the label. Label we can change. Like for example, let me show you. Upon click on this new button, it is showing this name over here like as branch name. But instead of this branch name, I want to indicate. Okay, I want to indicate that. So like as bank branch name, we can change this name here. This label we can change. That's a data type we can't change. Other properties we can't change. Only the label that we can change. That's it. Instead of displaying this the branch name, I want to show bank branch name. Okay, so in this case, just we can change the label, but we can't do any other customization like as changing the data types, changing the properties. We can't do any other things over there. That is a limitation. Okay, whatever the standard fields are available, standard field just you can customize that fields. That too we can able to change the labels, but we can't remove the field from the object here. Yeah, tell me.
If I change the label, then my API name also get changed in that
No.
condition?
The API name will be fixed. Only the visibility purpose we can change it here. Okay, only for the visibility. Why? Because whenever we are developing the application, we are giving our own names during the application development. Whenever we are giving the application demo to the client will be giving some suggestions. Boss, here I don't want this name, I want this name. I don't want this label, I want this label. Client will be giving some suggestions. At that time, if it is changing that API name, it will be impacting on the application business logic here. So only the labels we can change over here by using this functionality. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, so we can customize the fields. That too here, that's what I'm stressing out this point here. This very, very common question in the entry point of view. What we can customize for standard fields? We can customize only the labels. That's it. Label name we can change. But we can't do any other customizations over there. But we can't remove the field from the object. Because small points are very, very important. Basically, the people will neglect all these points, but these are very, very important in the entry point of view. Because to know your confidence level, to know whether you are strong in the fundamental features or not, that is most important. Now, so now when coming to the standard fields are nothing but the ready-made fields which has been given by Salesforce in each and every object by default. By default, Salesforce is giving 5 fields in each and every object, like ID field, name field, owner, created by, and the last modified. But these are the 5 fields has been given by Salesforce by default. And then, so we can able to change the labels of those fields, but we can't remove those fields from your object. That is a limitation. Now, so in this case, apart from these 5 fields, can we add some more? Yes, we can add some more. The facility is available. I want to store the customer address. For that one, I want address column. I want to store the customer phone number. I want phone number column. I want to store customer's email ID. I want email ID column. I want to store customers revenue, nothing but salary. For that one, I want a field. I want to add one more column. Like that here, we can add some more columns also. What are the 5 columns has been given by Salesforce by default inside this each and every object, those columns may not be sufficient. Those columns may not fulfill your requirement. We need to add some more columns inside that object here. Then how can we add? For that one, we are using a feature called as custom fields. Custom fields are nothing but the fields which will be creating by the developer or administrator. That means the Salesforce developer or the Salesforce administrator can create their own fields, okay, part of inside the object according to the business requirement. To store the application specific data, to store the business specific data, whatever the additional columns they need, they will be creating those columns which are called as custom fields. Okay, now the developer or the administrator can create the additional fields inside the object to store the application specific data. To store the application specific data, we need to add some more additional columns also. Those are called as custom fields. Then what we can do that custom fields over here? What kind of operations we can do? We can customize the custom fields. Yes, then what we can customize? We can change the labels also. We can change the data types also, everything. That means everything is possible because it's custom. I have created, I am the owner, I have full rights on this. So in this case, what are the custom fields that we have created? On those custom fields, we can able to customize the features, and then we can able to remove that field also because it's my own. I can do whatever I want. If it is not required, I will remove. I don't want that field. That field is no longer required for me, so that I'm removing that field. I'm having that rights. So in this case, what are the custom fields that we have created? We can remove those fields. We can customize the fields, whatever you want. That facility is available. Okay, now we can customize and remove the custom fields. We can customize and we can remove the custom fields. Now the most important question over here, the kernel limits. So they will be raising a question: how many fields we can add per an object here? How many columns we can add inside a table over there? How can we add? How many columns we can add inside a table? So whenever you are going to any database, it may be Oracle, it may be SQL Server, it may be DBase, it may be DB2, it may be MySQL, it may be anything, whatever we have. So in every database, we are creating some tables. Okay, databases are used to create some tables to store some data. But in this case, once the table is ready, inside the table, we can add some columns. Then do we have any limitations to create the columns? Do we have any limitation that we can create only this many number of columns? Yes. Every database is having this limitation. Every database is having some limitations. Now, like the similar way in Salesforce also, whenever I'm creating an object, by default Salesforce is creating a table. In that table, by default Salesforce is giving 5 columns, but we can create some more columns also with the help of custom fields. Then how many columns we can able to add? How many fields we can create? How many custom fields we can create for an object here? That is depends on your edition which you are using. Suppose if you are using a free developer edition, in free developer edition, we can create maximum of 500 custom fields. 500 custom fields per an object. Nothing but a table can have maximum of 500 custom fields. Standard fields are not countable. Only custom fields will be countable. That will be up to 500 max. That is the limitation. In unlimited edition, we can create maximum of 800 custom fields per an object. That means here each and every table can have maximum of 500 custom columns. Okay, standard columns are not countable. Custom columns we can able to add maximum 500 here. That is a limitation given by Salesforce. So whenever we are adding some fields inside the object, we can have maximum of 500 custom fields, okay, per an object inside the free developer edition. In unlimited edition, we can able to have maximum of 800 custom fields. That is a limitation given by Salesforce. Okay, now. So now here in this case, how can we see the fields over here? Now, ways to list out the fields. How many ways are available to see the fields available inside this object? You know, few options already you know that here. Few more options are also available here. Let me show you practically today. The first one by using standard navigation. Second one by using force.com quick access menu. Third one by using developer console. Fourth one by using schema builder. Fifth one by using third-party tools. Sixth one by using the data loader. Like that, multiple ways are available over here. These are the various ways in order to see what columns are available inside this particular table over here. Okay, inside this table, what columns are available, we can able to list out over here. We can differentiate now. So now in this case, now field means what? Column. Column also having some name, right? Yes, because this is the column name, ID, name, owner, created by, last modified. But these are the column names over here. We can create our own columns also. Like for example, we can create the column like as email ID, email, phone, fax, address. Like that, we can create our own columns also inside the same table to store the email ID value, phone number value, fax number value, address value, like that. Then how do we know is it standard, is it custom? For that one, you know that concept here, same story. So now whatever the custom column we have created, that will be postfixing with underscore C, email underscore C, phone underscore C column, fax underscore C, address underscore C. These are the column names. Now standard column names will be looking like as a normal words, but the custom column names are postfixing with underscore C. Because to know this is a custom field created by developer or administrator. So that just by looking into that field itself, we can understand is it a standard or custom, plain thumb rule. If it is a normal word, it is nothing but standard. If it is having postfixing underscore C, this is the custom. This is the simple concept. So this is the differentiation. This is the way we can differentiate whether it is standard or custom fields inside your object here. Now, so standard field names are looking like as normal words, and the custom field names are always postfixing with underscore C. Now let's see how can we see the fields available inside the object. What are the various ways? In order to see the fields available inside the object, we have multiple ways are available. First one, standard navigation. How can we see the fields? Suppose, for example, if you want to see the fields of your account object, then what we can do? Now let's see. For example, I want to see the fields inside your account object here. For that one, what we can do? Simply we have to go to the setup menu, go to the build menu, click on customize, click on accounts, and you will be having the option called as fields. Just to click on this navigation here. Based on this navigation, we can able to see the fields information. Okay, now let's see how can we do that. If you want to see the fields, both the standard and custom fields over here. How can we see that fields information? Now let's see practically in this case. Let's go to the navigation. Go to the setup menu. Go to the build menu in the left panel. Click on customize. I want to see the fields inside my account object. So click on expand accounts, click on fields. Click on that link, fields. So we can see the fields available inside your account object here. These are the fields. These are the standard fields are available, account object standard fields, like as a name, account number, owner, site, account source, annual revenue, billing address, like that. These are the fields are available. When you come down, you will be having custom fields also. Then who has created this custom field? These has been given by Salesforce itself. Because to show how standard field look like, how the custom field look like. For that one, Salesforce has given this navigation. Salesforce has given these options also by default. So here we can see all the fields available inside the object here. We can see both standard fields and custom fields in two different sections. Standard fields inside a separate section, custom fields inside a separate section over here. Because the navigation we have to follow to see the fields by using the standard navigation. Now, the second way, by using force.com quick access menu. In this case, what we can do? For example, I want to see the fields available inside my lead object. In this case, click on the leads tab and expand the force.com quick access menu. Force.com quick access menu from right panel, from right side. Click on view fields link. Click on view fields link. Go to that required objects tab. For example, if you want to see the fields of lead object, then click on leads tab. If you want to see the fields of customer object, then you have to click on that customer object, customers tab. If you want to see the fields of case object, then we have to go with that. Click on that cases tab. Like that, it depends upon the object in which you would like to see the fields. Click on that respective objects tab. Now, so now here in this case here. Now let's see practically. So this is the account object here. These are the standard field. Account object is a standard object here. Account object is a standard object. These are the standard fields given by Salesforce. These are the custom fields. If you want to create some more, then you will be having that section. Okay, go to the account of custom fields section, click on new button. We can able to add some more custom fields also, whatever you want. How many? Up to 500. So here some fields have been given by Salesforce. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 fields has been given by Salesforce. Still we can able to create, okay, 493 fields we can create still inside your account object. That means custom fields can be applicable for both a standard object, custom object also both. Okay, in my account object, I want some more custom fields. In lead object, I want some more fields. Like that, we can able to create, depends upon your application requirement as well.
Sir, I have a question over here, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
So account custom fields is the custom fields, right? Which is
Yes.
created by the Salesforce. So
Yes, right.
can we able to delete these fields if
Right.
we wanted?
Yes, that's what I told you, right? So here I have given clearly the information. If it is a standard field, just we can customize, but we can't remove. If it is a custom field, we can able to remove this custom field also. That's what here when observe this one, it is having delete option also.
But
Edit,
my thing is,
delete.
so we are not the one who created this one. So it is
But even though if it is a custom, it will be removable over here.
okay.
Because here Salesforce has given this option to you, because Salesforce has given these custom fields to you to see how custom fields will look like. That's what here they have given some sample.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, you said that up maximum 500 custom fields. You said no, sir.
Yes.
You said again without default apps, without default objects.
Without default?
Objects.
Without the default field, without the default fields. That means these are the standard fields given by Salesforce here. Okay, these are the standard fields given by Salesforce. We won't count these values. How many custom fields are there as of now? 7 is there. Still, how many we can create? 493. How do we know? Let me show you practically here in this case. Go to this account object. When you come down here, we have an option called as limits. Okay, limits. Click on this limits here. Custom fields, how many we can create? It is indicating the limitation. Custom fields, how many we can create? Limit is 500. How many we have created? Nothing but how many given by Salesforce? 7. Still, how many we can create? 493 we can create. Standard fields are not countable, only custom fields are countable. Okay, we can cross check the limitations also inside this. Okay.
If we want to add some fields, can we do it in the same page, or like we should do it somewhere else?
No, there is a navigation. We'll see. I will show you that in the next session. I will show you how to create the fields. That is the next concept.
Okay.
Okay. So upon creating the field, we have to select some data type. There are some data types are there. We'll see the data types concept. Then we'll see how to create the fields over there.
Sir, if you want to create more than 500 fields for a particular object, so can we do that?
No, we can't do that here. In a free developer edition, we can't create more than 500 custom fields for an object. Why they have given the limitation is, suppose if we are creating more number of fields, then for example, let me explain. Assume that I'm having 500 columns are there inside my table. So upon creating the record, when I click on the new button, for example, when I click on this new button, it will providing the user interface here. Okay, I want to create a new record. So 500 text boxes will be getting visible over here. So now tell me, to create a single record, to create a new record, I need to enter the data in all these 500 fields. Now tell me how much time it will take to enter the data in 500 text boxes. It will take minimum 1 hour. Minimum 1 hour it will take to enter the data in 500 text boxes. For example, I spent some 1 hour of time. I have entered the data in all the 500 text boxes. When I about to click on save button, suddenly power went off. Okay, when I about to click on save button, suddenly power went off. My system has been shut down. Because I don't have any battery backup, so my system has been shut down. So in this case, what will happen? After 5 minutes, power came back again. When you go to the user interface, then you will be able to see the data which have entered previously. No, data will be lost. Again, you have to enter the same data. Again, we have to spend 1 more hour time. In the next 1 hour, do you have any guarantee that power won't went off? No. That's what here, don't make that object lengthy. Try to make that number of columns are very less, so that we can reduce the complexity. We can utilize that tables very, very efficiently. So we can reduce that redundancy also over there. So that's what here, we can store the data, we can split the data to the multiple tables, and then we can map the association. Nothing but we can map the relations between those objects here.
But you said there is another intermediate tool where we can able to store for data for temporarily when there is any issues like power cut or internet goes down. So after we are able
that
to
will be when you click on that, okay, include offline button, then only it will go. Suppose I'm trying to click on that save button, I have placed the mouse pointer on that save button. I haven't clicked on that, but suddenly my system has been shut down. Then my data will be lost, right? I haven't clicked on that. When I click on the include offline, it will save that here. Fine, no problem. But when I about to click on that save button, okay, when I'm moving that mouse onto the save button, suddenly my system has been shut down. At that time, my data will be lost. But the people may not be having that much of patience to enter the same data again and again and again. So that to avoid such kind of problems here, don't make that things complex. Try to make the things very, very simple. Try to reuse the same things again and again and again whenever you want, wherever you want.
Sir, after every record, you hit the save, or at the end of 500 records?
Sorry?
At the end of every record, after you fill up every record, let's say that you've entered 10 records and you hit the save, okay? So when you're entering the 11th record, the power goes away. So the 10 records will be saved.
No, not 10 records, so 10 fields. At that time, what will happen? Once you click on the save button, then it is going to be creating the record directly. Second time, we have to enter the again and again and again. That every time we have to click on save, right? It will be taking much time. Because the people won't prefer to go with that, okay, click on the save button multiple times. That's what the problem.
But if the power goes away, what all you have entered, everything is lost, right? So
Yeah,
isn't it better to enter the save after every record?
That's what here. If I'm storing the whole data by creating more number of columns inside the table, it will be raising some more complexities also. Some more the problems will be getting arised. Like it is going to be raising the problem called as redundancy problem. Managing the data will be very, very difficult. Suppose if my internet access is a bit slow, then to load that 500 text boxes in my user interface will be taking more time or not? Yes. It will be impacting on the network traffic. People has to wait for a long time to load the complete page. So this kind of problems will be getting arise. So that don't make the user interface complex. Make that user interface very, very simple. General, simple concept here. Let me explain. Assume that I'm having some land. I'm having some space. I'm constructing a house. Now tell me the complete space I'm going to be preparing like as a single room? No. What are the space that I have to construct a house? In that space, I'm dividing to the various small portions, like as one bedroom, one kitchen, one hall, one dining room. Okay, like that we are splitting. Why? For our convenience. If I'm placing all the items in a single room, upon searching that it will be taking more time, right? Where is this item? Where is this item? It will be very difficult. If I'm having some different rooms are available, then cooking related items I will place inside the kitchen. Common items I'm placing inside the hall. Remaining items I'm placing inside the bedroom here. So that whenever we need an item directly, we can pick up. We no need to search. We can save some time. We can able to avoid the confusions also. We can make that items very simple. Like that here also, don't store that complete information inside a single table. We can make it as a small tables and then map the relation between these tables. For that one, we are having a concept called as relationships concept here that we'll discuss in the next sessions. Like as the joins, when you know that concept of joins in the database is like as foreign key, primary key, like that we are having the relationships concepts are available. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. This is just not fair for the rest of us. People just spent good chunk of time interrupting and asking questions. Can people wait till you finish instructions and then ask during the question and answer session?
Sure. I will do that one. Okay. Now. So now here in this case, whenever if you want to see the fields, then we can use that standard navigation. That is one mechanism, one way. Second way is we can go with that force.com quick access menu. So how can we go with this force.com quick access menu? Now let's see practically. So what are the objects for which you want to see the fields? Just click on the respective objects tab. If you want to see the lead object field, then just click on this leads tab. And then expand the force.com quick access menu. Where it is available, that is available in the right side here, like as a dockable menu here, dockable control. So now just expand this force.com quick access menu, click on this view fields so that we can see inside this current object, that means lead object, what fields are available, we can see the fields information. These are the lead object fields here. Now these are the standard fields of lead. When you come down, we can see the custom fields of the lead object also. This is the second way in order to see the fields. Third one, developer console. Suppose if you want to see the fields of an object by using developer console, you can go to that, your name. What are the name that you have on the top right corner, just to go to your name, expand it, click on developer console. Click on the option developer console. It is opening the developer console over here. Now it is providing this developer console editor. I want to see what? I want to see the fields of the object here. Which object? Some case object, for example, any object, whatever you want, you can take it, no problem. So I want to see the field. So simply go to that file menu, click on open. That means I don't want to create new. I want to see existing object structure. So click on open. In this one, what information you want to see? You want to see the classes information, triggers information, Visual Force pages information, or what? I want to see objects. Click on objects here. So it is populating all the objects available inside this particular organization. Now, what object fields information you want to see? Case object. So simply go to the case, double click on this object here. Double click on this case object, it will list out what fields are available. These are the columns are available. These are the columns. ID column, is the deleted column, master record ID, case number, contact ID, account ID, asset ID, source ID, parent ID, supplied name, supplied email, type of the case, status of the case, reason of the case, origin, subject, priority, like that. All these columns information we can see along with custom columns also. This is the third way in order to see the fields, okay, of the object by using developer console. Now, one more thing. So let me give you that most important point. Whenever if you want to see the columns information of the object, come to the developer console. Don't go with that standard fields. Don't go with that view fields option inside that Force Platform Quick Access menu. Why? Because those options will not be providing the complete fields information. Those will be giving very few fields information. If you want to see all the fields information in one shot, then you can come to the developer console. Developer console is the best option to see the actual columns information of your object. Next, we have schema builder. So during this third-party tools concept, during the data loader concept, during the schema builder concept, we'll see what are the columns are available inside the object. How can we see everything? We'll see. During this concept, we'll see that part. These are the various options are available, various ways are available to list out the fields available inside your object. Okay, then how to create the fields inside the object, we'll see practically in tomorrow's session. In tomorrow's session, we'll see how to create the custom fields. How to create the custom fields inside the object, we'll see practically in tomorrow's session. Okay. So do the practice on this one today. Tomorrow we'll see the custom fields, and along with that, I have given some assignments to you today. Try to complete these assignments so that you can feel comfortable for the next session. Okay.